What would it mean for Brock Purdy's legacy if San Francisco was able to win this weekend?
This one has a lot of variables for me because a lot will depend on how he plays specifically. He could get carried, and in that case, it would mean at worst he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback who's just a game manager who had a ton of weapons. Like that's if he gets carried though. If he shows up, he doesn't play great or he doesn't make a big impact, that's kind of what we'd be looking at. But if he plays well, I mean, at worst case, we're looking at a Joe Flacco type of career path. I do think he could potentially have a Eli Manning type of career path. He could be a pretty good player. I'm still not sure where he is in terms of like QBs, but he definitely could be that guy who turns into a high caliber, one of the better QBs in the next 5 to 10 years here. It's just so tough for him because he's surrounded by so many good players that for me, it's hard to know exactly how good he is. So this game for him really matters whether or not he shows up, in my opinion.
I agree it does depend on how he plays. But my take is that Brock Purdy would kind of start his Tom Brady arc.
Mm.
They have a ton of similarities. It's just low-hanging fruit here. Okay, Tom Brady and Brock Purdy both were late draft picks. Tom Brady in the 6th round, Brock Purdy the last pick, Mr. Irrelevant, right? They both would have led a team to a Super Bowl victory in their second seasons as starting quarterbacks. And they both got that opportunity because the starter got injured, right? They were never number one on the depth chart until the time came to say, hey, we need you because we don't have anybody else. And they both honestly were put in great positions to win right out the gate. Okay, I'm not going to argue that San Francisco doesn't have a ton of weapons and Purdy's out there slinging the rock and he's the main reason why they're winning. But at the same time, how many times have we seen excellent quarterbacks underperform in the postseason? A la Peyton Manning, a la Lamar Jackson, right? There are plenty elite caliber, MVP caliber quarterbacks that just don't get it done. And credit needs to be given if this guy actually is able to help his team win. So, as I said, kind of halfway through the season, we did a video. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. I said that if Purdy, by the end of the year, would be considered a top 10 quarterback because my eggs were in the San Francisco basket all season long. Now, people will find a way to always criticize him and say, hey, he's their 6th, 7th best player on their team, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, you need a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes and can put you in positions so that your other playmakers can win you the game at bare minimum. So I would say if he wins a Super Bowl or San Francisco wins a Super Bowl, Brock Purdy should be considered a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like I said, and going back to how he plays in this game, if he does play just like a game manager, he gets the ball to McCaffrey, Kittle, right, Samuel in these screen plays or short yardage plays, and those guys go off and make plays, I don't think people are going to think too much more highly of him. But if he shows up in this game and he's able to make plays for his team that are created by him, maybe some off script plays, maybe, a couple scrambles, maybe just absolute dime in a clutch situation. I think something like that would definitely elevate his status more, and people will look at him a lot differently if he's one of the reasons why they win the game and not in spite of him.
I agree. I think there's gonna be a couple plays where it comes down to him having to beat Kansas City. There's gonna be at least one opportunity. There's gonna be that Jimmy Garoppolo overthrow, right? And if he can connect on that, if he can seize the opportunity when it's given to him, and then he should honestly wipe all of that criticism away, because that's all you can ask from the guy is when your moment is there to seize it and then make the most of it. It would elevate him over the Jimmy Garoppolos, over the Derek Carrs, over the,
oh yeah, easy
quarterbacks of the world, right? So that's my take. I think he will be considered a top 10 quarterback if San Francisco pulls this off.